What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 77, and we start today's episode off with a game against Queen's Park Rangers here in the Barclays Premier League at home. And of course, we come into this game on the back of what happened in our last episode. Two fantastic results, the first of which was a 2-1 victory over Real Madrid in the Champions League round of 16 stage at Carrow Road, and then we won an FA Cup game against Aston Villa in the round of 16. 2-0 away at Villa Park with a backup side. So two really strong wins, undefeated in 4 games, suddenly starting to pick up momentum. Of course, as you guys have seen, we had an awful month in January. We failed to win a single league game. We just didn't perform really. It's been a while since we've looked like a convincing team, but suddenly things are starting to pick up for us, and we came to this game against QPR once again needing to win to keep the momentum going. And in the 6th minute here, we did have the first chance of the game. Nedum Noah gets his feet just completely mixed up there. Anthony robs him and blasts the ball into the back of the net. So a really simple finish. The former City defender just completely gave the ball away, and it was a simple finish for Anthony. No one's going to catch him for pace, even Noah, who's quite a quick player. But it's 1-0 to us, and in the 24th minute, Lukaku got played forward. His finesse shot was well saved by the goalkeeper, though. It did come up to Wijnaldum. He poked it through to Townsend, crossed the ball in. How about this for a first-time volley by Lukaku? That was absolutely awesome. His 10th goal in the season in the Barclays Premier League. It was a wonderful volley because Lukaku, like all the strikers we've had, really have been really inconsistent during the season. But I mean, that's a great volley. That really is. That shows the class. It shows what he's capable of. And yeah, like we've never really had a striker that I've been so convincing with. Playing with Elmander in our first season was the one that got us the most goals so far in the series in a single season. But even so, even he wasn't even that great. We've been waiting for a really class striker, and I thought Lukaku was going to be that brilliant striker that scores like 20-25 league goals a season, but sadly he hasn't been. But there's still time. We're only halfway through the season. Well, we're over halfway through, but even so, he's okay. And that was a great finish. But anyway, it was 2-0 here. QPR pressing, trying to get themselves back in the game, but he see Leroy Fair play an amazing free ball to Lukaku, goes 1-on-1, and the strike is well saved by the goalkeeper, and it's cleared away. So again, I want a striker that could score those goals, with no problem whatsoever. It is my fault for taking it on so early and from such a tight angle, but even so, I'd expect the striker to do a bit better than that. At least hit the outside of the post or something. Something more worrying than quite a soft shot. But even so, it's 2-0 here, and in the 78th minute, Nathan Redmond goes through 1-on-1 and chips the ball over the goalkeeper to make it 3-0. So Redmond seals the victory here with 10 minutes to go. It was a really nice free ball and a great finish by our young winger, and that's exactly why I was so desperate to keep hold of him in January. He was, of course, one of the players that was so popular and in demand, but that's exactly why I wanted to keep hold of him. Really good finish, and it's 3-0, and QPR were trying their best to make sure that Forster would not have his first clean sheet in Norwich colours, but we were doing well to hold on, and he made a couple of really good saves as well. So gotta be honest, a January transfer window which came and went pretty quickly. There weren't too many deals. There were quite a few deals, but there weren't really any big transfers. But I got to say, what a signing he looks to be, Fraser Forster. £3 million. Of course, he did used to play for Norwich on loan when he was back at Newcastle quite a few years ago. I think it was 2009, possibly 2010. He did used to play for Norwich on loan, but we signed him on a permanent deal, and I mean, what a signing, £3 million he's come in. I mean, sure, it's only been 4 games for him, but even so, he's looking like a really solid goalkeeper, because Butland and McCarthy, although they're 2 decent goalkeepers, they're not bad goalkeepers, though they're 2 decent goalkeepers, they've always looked a bit shaky, they've looked a little bit worrying, a little bit unstable. Not 2 goalkeepers I'd really be filled with confidence with having them between the sticks. But with Fraser Forster, it's different. Every single time someone goes 1-on-1, I'm confident that Forster's going to be able to stand big, and I don't think it'll be hard for I think it'll be hard for Fraser Forster not to stand big at 6'7". But you know what I'm trying to say. It's hard for Forster to it's hard for me to not believe that Forster's going to pull off a save, because he just looks so good, and it's been a really good signing for us. I'm pleased with that. I did get a couple of comments saying you should look to sign Forster over the season. You guys have saying, if you want to get rid of the goalkeeper, possibly bring in Forster. I've had loads of suggestions for the goalkeeper department, and I thought Forster, he's going to be a cheap option, but he could be an effective one as well, and he has been effective, so I'm glad I signed him. But anyway, here's a squad report. See how the players are doing. Again, there's a couple of players that just don't seem to want to grow whatsoever. Of course, one of those is Ross Barkley and of course Jack Butland, but it's still good. There's not a single player that's decreasing in attributes, and that's great. And here's a look at the league table as we go into March now. We've got 12 games to go in the season. For us, we sit in 8th place with 43 points. We're 3 points behind Spurs in 5th, and 6 points behind Manchester United in 4th. So a little bit worrying. I've got to be honest. We have, started to pick up the form now, which is great. We need to continue this form, but it's still a little bit worrying because, of course, another couple of bad results in a row, and we're going to start to fall down again because it seems as though, 4th to 8th is going to be, well, I'd say come towards the right end of the season, it'll be 4th to 6th or 4th to 7th. I genuinely think it's going to be about, at least 2 or 3 teams battling for 4th come the final game of the season. So it's really tough to establish ourselves as a top 4 team when there are so many great teams around us. It really is. It is difficult. I'm doing my best to make sure we'll have European football next year. I'm very confident we will. But, Champions League football is so hard to deliver season after season, for a side like us. But I still believe we can get to the Champions League. It will be difficult, I know that. But, we've just got to pick up the momentum, and at the moment we're starting to do that. So we just got to keep going. But we did take on Fulham for this game. And as you can see here, another brief look at the league table. Things aren't looking too good at the moment, but there's room to improve. And hopefully with continued momentum in the league, we'll be able to push ourselves up in the places in the league table. But we take on Fulham for the second and final game of the episode today. Away at Craven Cottage, and the first chance came straight from kickoff when Anthony dribbled past Soldado before playing it back to Ikrem. He gave it to Redmond. Redmond rouletted past Sidwell. Then he had a lovely piece of skill to get past his man. His shot was well saved, however, by Stecklenburg, and it's still 0-0, but a good start for us. And in the 11th minute here, you see Townsend find Odelusi. Odelusi takes on the German right back before giving it off to Townsend. Townsend down the left-hand side here. Real good chance for Towns. Comes inside, tries to chip the ball over the goalkeeper. It's up in the air, sadly, and Stecklenburg claims it, so it's still a 0-0. But in the 15th minute here, Odelusi gets onto it again, gives it to Ikrem. Lovely 1-2 between those two players. It's Odelusi uses his pace to get round his man and ends up putting the ball past Stecklenburg. So in the first 16 minutes, we were really dominant, and we finally had a goal to show for all that hard work as well. It's Odelusi that gets it, and it's 1-0 to us. And in the 20th minute here, you see Anthony play a good through ball to Ikrem. He goes 1-on-1, nice little stop there, takes aim, but he can only just put the ball wide. So quite a few changes in this game, of course, but we did, of course, have that big game against Real Madrid in midweek, so I was definitely going to rest some players regardless. But Soldado almost made it 1-1 here. The former Spurs striker could only hit the post though, and brought on a double substitution at half time. Ross Barkley came on, Nathaniel Chaloba also came on for Redmond and Townsend, and in the 48th minute, Fulham came through. Kasami gets onto the ball here, plays it out wide to Kaka Nikolic here, crosses the ball in towards Kasami, free header, and it's a wonderful header as well. No chance for Forster in goal. Really strong header, and sadly Fulham are back on level terms here. Was it Forster in goal? I can't remember, but it's 1-1 here. And in the 61st minute, another great chance for Fulham. Kasami crosses the ball in, and Soldado scores again. So cross and headers OP. Soldado gets the goal, and it's 2-1 here to Fulham. So they're in front of Craven Cottage. In the 77th minute, it wasn't looking good for us. We were 2-1 down. We needed to get a goal back, and he see Ikrem's first shot blocked by Boateng, but his second one takes a huge deflection off the Fulham centre half. Not sure who it was, but it took a massive deflection, and it was 2-2 here. So we're back on level terms. And in the 88th minute, the game was being closed out. It looked as though we were going to drop points, but a ball goes through to Ikrem. First time cross into the box, and there is our substitute. Ross Barkley gets onto their ball, heads it past Stecklenburg, and makes it 3-2. So the comeback is complete. We come back from 2-1 behind to win the game by 3-2. What a sub it was to bring Ross Barkley on. He has been in some good form as well recently. I read a few of your comments saying that I should look to shift on Barkley because he's not growing, but he's been in really good form recently. Came up with some big goals for us lately, and that was one of them there. So Barkley rescues us all 3 points, and that is fantastic news for us. And of course, we did rest quite a few players because we do have the Champions League round of 16 second leg away in Spain for our next game here in midweek. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you you have enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like, that's much appreciated. It really does help my channel out. We have seen 2 videos today, so a like would really help my channel out. But thanks for watching regardless. Really hope you have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow afternoon.